which was a really good thing. We gave up a few big plays defensively. I thought that we've got to get corrected. It was basic things about kids not fitting the proper gap, those kind of things. So those are mental mistakes. But overall, it was really, your typical first one. Everybody's effort was really good. We got a bunch of reps with some young kids that were, swimming mentally, and so it was good for them to get out there and see themselves doing it, in real life.
The ball security issues, was there a common theme with fumbles, interceptions?
There was a common theme as far as there were too many balls on the ground. Yeah, that was the common theme. So they weren't necessarily all interceptions.
Did the quarterbacks separate themselves?
We're still in the same situation. Still in the same situation.
What do you like about
Each quarterback. I thought Marquise, he's very comfortable with managing, and moving the chains and all the things that we're trying to do offensively. And I thought Mitch did a nice job running the offense also. I mean, the nice thing is that there's not really a change with the rest of the guys depending on who's back there, and that's what we're looking for.
How much did you learn about the depth with the offensive line and maybe finding a few interchangeable parts there?
The thing that I found out is we don't have enough depth, which I knew beforehand, but the good thing is that we're getting a lot of learned reps. I mean, that means a guy gets out there and something else happens that he hadn't seen in practice, and then he realizes that's one more experience that he gets before we get to game time. So again, all these kids that haven't been out there in a game, we're trying to get them as many reps as possible.
Bentley missed some time in spring.
Yeah.
How was he on Saturday? How's he coming along?
Well, it was really good for him. I mean, because he got a bunch of reps, so it extended him a little bit, more than he has been. So physically, he had to do it when he had to think when he was tired, and I thought he did some good things. I mean, he did some good things.
How's Lucas Crawley doing, and just coming to where you want him to be for the season?
He's gotten better than he was in the spring, and he was better in the spring than he was in the fall. And he had I think the first game that he actually started was against Pittsburgh, against what's the kid's name?
Aaron Donald.
Yeah, Aaron Donald, who's pretty dang good. Because Cap told me he was talking to Travis Bond the other day, and he's with the Rams, and they played him, and he said, "Man, that guy's good." So, yeah, he was pretty good.
What has been the biggest area of progress for him? Is it comfort, or is it just general strength and ability to?
For Lucas,
yes.
I mean, it's one. He's just the comfort level of you're the quarterback of that offensive line. You have to be able to make every single call. You got to be able to understand the tempo, what we're trying to do things. Then on top of it, you got to get the ball back to the quarterback in the perfect position. So it's just a comfort level of doing it over and over. I think that he's finally gotten to, so now he can start excelling as a player.
Has Josh Cabrera been a little bit of a surprise in camp?
No, not a surprise. I mean, just that we're happy and pleased with where he is. I mean, he's really done some nice things. I mean, you see a maturity level that may have been, that we weren't sure would be there. I mean, you never are with the young guys. So, but it was nice to see the maturity that he has and the way he's growing.
Is it your idea this year to play both quarterbacks as in case that one gets injured, you have another one in the backup that can go in and play? Is it your plan to to roll in two quarterbacks?
We haven't made a decision on what we're going to do with the quarterbacks yet.
Last year, obviously, you set some targets for some guys, Pinchot and Eric and stuff like that. Did you do any of that this year with?
No, I've challenged guys, but I hadn't set targets for them. Really, it's more of just challenging them, talking about what their goals are and what they want to accomplish this as an individual, and then what we need to do as a team. And my focus has really been on where we need to be as a team.
Elijah Hood came in here a lot of a week and a half into practice, just to help evaluate.
I still feel that way. I mean, he's really doing some nice things. Again, he's got such great football savvy, and then he's also very intelligent on top of it. And so he understands effort. He understands all the things that you're looking for, and physically he can do everything that we're asking him to do. He didn't get a whole lot of reps in the scrimmage. I mean, we were looking at a lot of different things, and again, it's situational, so it's so hard to I mean, we're really, when we're evaluating kids in that situation. You may not have a bunch of yards, or it's how do you handle all your assignments, all the different things that you're going to see. Do you handle those? Are you substituting correctly? Are you doing all the little things that we have to get done to prepare us for 14 games?
In the spring, you said that Matt Collins, you expected him to be a part of the receiver group this year. Is he developing like you thought he was?
He is. Yeah, he is. I mean, he's still, he's still going to be a major contributor on all our special teams, and now he's working in and rolling in at the receiver spot. So I think he's working on that left side with Bug Howard and doing some really good things.
Has he earned a
Or
scholarship?
maybe he's on the right side. I don't know. He's out there.
When you mentioned in Greensboro that it was time to make a run in the division, finish up near the top. Do you hear guys talk about that a lot during these days when you're around them?
They haven't talked. I mean, they don't say, Coach said it's time to make a run, or it's time, it's time. I mean, they are enthusiastic, excited about the season. I mean, they know how much work that they've put into this year, and they know that they're a closer team than we've been in the past. That there's better team chemistry. All those things. Doesn't mean we don't have problems, but I mean, there's just a different feel amongst them, and so they're excited about what the potential is.
Speaking about Mac and Bug with TJ's situation, have those guys have to kind of be flexible and move around and maybe play? I guess is that Z positions that where they're at?
Well, we really don't have a Z, or I mean, we got one's on the right side, one's on the left side, and that's where they stay. So, but we have been able to use either guy in both spots. So we teach concepts, not positions. So on offense, so a receiver's got to know if he's on the outside or inside. Doesn't matter on which side he is, he's got to know what to do.
Coach, where's Chris Francis fit in your backfield, and how's he doing so far?
I mean, he's right in the mix with everybody. He brings a whole different style. That's the unique thing about this group, is that each one of them's different. Each one of them brings something a little bit different to the table. Chris is, a very smooth runner, can be physical when he needs to be. He's kind of a slicer, as far as, and he runs the zone very well, which is good for us.
Do you have any idea yet how many true freshmen you might have needed to use, or like a little bit?
That's still too early. I mean,
at what point
now,
do you like to make that decision?
Well, I would say probably after this next scrimmage, on Saturday, we got to make some decisions then, and then the thing about that is it's always evolving, because all it takes is somebody's ankle to get rolled, and here you go, and a true freshman's got to go in as a backup role. So that can always change, but we'll start making some hard decisions after that second scrimmage. Thank y'all.
Thanks.